Okay, today we are building a personal brand, something that I've been wanting to do for a long time. I kind of did it half-assed without really thinking it through. Not because I was lazy, but because I wasn't really sure where I was going to end up or what my end goal really was with building a personal brand. And maybe that's where you're at. A lot of people, I think, are stuck there. So today, my goal is to walk you through how I am building my personal brand, specifically with YouTube content and Instagram Reels, short form, just all that good stuff. And it's really going to start with three pillars. The name, Connor Off Course. That's probably how you found this video. You can see it right there, my username. Off course, something you don't hear a lot. Yeah, people might think it says of course. It doesn't. It's two F's. Pay respect to that second F. It's off course. And the reason I stuck with that name is it took me a while to land on something that was kind of unique. I do a lot of traveling. I try to go to places where most people don't go and do things that a lot of people don't do. And so I thought, oh, off course has a nice ring to it. So that's step one. Find a unique username, think of something that showcases a bit of who you are, what you like to do, and get it. Go for it. And this is the content pillars. So, the content pillars, you can have up to three. It wouldn't go more than three because this is how people are going to identify you, right? They're going to identify you by three main types of videos or content pieces that you provide. And if you go more than that, you become a bit too scattered and maybe a bit too confusing at first. Once people know you, you can kind of go as far and wide as you like. But starting out, you want someone to follow you and to connect with you based on what they can quickly understand, right? If you're all over the place too early, it might be really confusing to people and they might not be inclined to follow you because they don't really know what you do or what you stand for. And so the things that I have decided to do and to stand for and to showcase are really three pillars. So the first pillar is to educate. Okay, a great example of that is what I'm doing now. I'm really going through this process with you guys. A great example of the educate pillar is this video that I'm doing with you guys right now. I have not fully thought this process through. This is a bit on the fly. I was talking with my friend here 10 minutes ago, thinking about this. I said, okay, this is something we could walk through together. So you can educate, but it can also be education that people are learning with you. You don't have to always be the authority, the expert, especially when you're starting out. That can be a bit inauthentic. And so educate in a way that's authentic to your journey and where you are. Don't fake it. Don't pretend that you know more than you do because people can smell that and it's just not good for your brand long term, right? So educate can be things like this: documentation, journey. If you are an expert in something, let's say you're really good at gymnastics, or you're really great at anything, making music or guitar or whatever. You don't need to be a guitar teacher, but you can show people that you play a little guitar, and you can maybe teach a few things about how to pick up girls. And one of those could be, I play guitar, so learn to play guitar. You know, it's all educational. However you want to do it, okay? Stuff like this, stuff like that. You can figure that out. Educational. For me, the educate pillar really looks like something specific because I'm in a unique position being an American that's living here in Vietnam. I can educate people on what it's like to live here, where they should go, what they should do, how to do things here, because some things operate very differently than they do back home and what we're used to. And there is not a lot of content on Vietnam specifically other than short-term travel vlogs and things like that. So I have a unique opportunity to educate people on how I navigate life here and things I think they might want to see or tips to help their trip or their move here go a bit more smoothly. So that's my plan for the educate pillar. Second one is going to be what was it? What was it, man? Entertain. Okay. The second content pillar for Content Off Course is going to be entertainment. Now, this is the fun one, but I feel like this is actually maybe the most challenging because when it comes to entertainment, the key here is keeping people engaged, being high energy, and having fun, right? And that may sound, it sounds easy, but It's actually very difficult because this is where you have the most competition. There's so many things that people can do to be entertained. You're competing with every other content creator that makes mindless slop on the internet that people are addicted to scrolling and watching. And you're also competing with people's attention spans. If they have, which most people do nowadays, a short attention span, you're asking them to not only click on your video, but then stay on your video for, 10, 15, 20 minutes for YouTube if it's long form. That's a pretty big ask in this day and age. So entertainment is going to be the hardest one. And for me, this looks like things like challenges, right? I think challenges are a great way to keep people entertained because if you start with a hook that's, can I survive on $10 a day in Saigon, Vietnam, in Ho Chi Minh City, Vietnam, that's a great hook and people want to know the result. It instantly gets people questioning, whoa, that's dramatic. $10 a day, that's nothing. How can he survive on that? And they want to see the result. So you're triggering them to kind of prepare themselves that they have to go all the way to the end of the video, and that might help increase their attention span and their ability to sit through the video, right? So challenges are a great way to do it. That's where my focus is going to be in the short term. So challenges, and then another one is just come with me to and show them unique places. So if someone is already interested in travel, or if someone is already interested in the topic that you're choosing to build a channel on or to create content around, just show them that stuff because they might not be at the level where they're doing it yet. For me, I used to sit on the couch and watch travel YouTube videos like every day. That was my entertainment. At nighttime I would have dinner and I would just watch, Lost LeBlanc traveling around Bali and around Southeast Asia, or I would watch all kinds of travel YouTubers because I wasn't doing it yet. So just make content showing the entertaining side of what it is that your channel is about, doing things and have fun with it. Don't make it, make sure you still have a hook, make sure there's still some kind of story to keep people involved. But I think this is the two main pieces that I'll be going for the entertainment side. And shock value is another thing. So think of hook, think of shock value, think of how can I keep people engaged. That's all I'll say on entertainment. And then the third pillar is going to be inspiration, inspire. So to inspire people is, I would say, the most powerful of emotions that you can give someone, because if you can inspire somebody, that means they're looking up to you. So if you can show them something that they look up to, it puts you in a position of authority, which is not easy to do, but it is the most powerful. Because as soon as you have a position of authority, this means that they now look up to you and they will purchase products from you. They will maybe want to meet you if you do a meetup or some kind of coaching or some kind of lessons, whatever it is that you plan, however you plan to monetize in the long run, if at all. Gives you a lot of leverage that way. When people want to achieve something because you inspired them to do it, or you entertain them and you showed them the life that they want through inspiration, that's going to give you a lot of leverage. So this is probably, in my eyes, the most powerful. This, if you can inspire them first, then they will go back to watch your education, right? So this all kind of loops in together. Entertain, this is probably how they'll find you first. Then you're going to inspire them, and then you're going to educate them. I should have done this in a different order, but hey, we don't know till it works out in the brain, right? Inspiration looks like more, in my eyes, it looks like more vlogs, right? So you want to show behind the scenes of the work you're doing, the traveling you're doing, uh, the stuff that doesn't necessarily look entertaining and doesn't necessarily have a storyline, but it's the raw kind of process of doing things. And in my case, those are the people that I really want to attract, right? So they might see the end goal, the entertainment. They might then see the inspiration, and then they're gonna go to my education, right? So they're gonna get in this loop, and if they fall off here, if they're not inspired by the life that I'm living, then they probably don't care about the stuff I want to educate them on, right? I want them to be inspired, and I want as many people to see the inspiration side as possible, because this is the most real version of me. This is going to be the things that most people don't see. It's not a polished, finished product. We're going to deliver it in a cool way, but it's not something that's meant to trigger dopamine rush. It's not something that's meant to be easily consumed, and that's okay in this case. So, to educate, to entertain, and to inspire, for me, are the three pillars that I'm focusing on. Maybe you can use these same ones and apply it to your industry, apply it to your goals and your content plans. Um, but I'm sure you guys will see some of this soon. And thanks for watching. This was not only for you guys, but it's also for me to talk through this and to understand it more and nail it down in my head, which I suggest you do as well. If you're going to do brainstorming, record it, talk to an audience. If you can't teach something easily, that means you don't understand it. The more you understand something, the easier it is to teach and explain. And so as I'm explaining this to you, I'm catching the gaps where I'm not fully don't understand things as much as I should. So this opens up a lot of questions in my head even further, but I think it does help solidify the goals and how this content and personal branding game really works. So without further ado, see you guys in the next one. Peace.